In today's video, I am so excited to be sharing with you 2 bits of news that are making me feel like we're starting to get back into the swing of things. And I know we aren't out of the woods just yet, but there's just like a little bit of hope that I'm gonna be clinging on to. And I wanted to share that with you. First of all, if you've been paying attention over on my Instagram page, I made an announcement that I'll be going back out on tour with Louis the Child. Now, we were supposed to go back out on tour last year, but due to some mitigating circumstances, that didn't happen. But as of right now, in about 2 months from the time I'm posting this video, we will be out on the road doing shows. And hopefully I'll see maybe a few of you there. We've got a whole new stage setup, and I'm really proud of what the whole team has put together. And this is all happening at a great time. A couple of weeks ago, MA Lighting and Act Lighting reached out to me to ask if I would like to join their MA3 feedback program, which is basically a way for MA and Act Lighting to have a little bit of a closer relationship with certain users so that they can implement feedback that we provide them. And they asked me to be a part of it, and of course I said yes. I was like honored and blown away that they would even consider, having me on board with such a program. And I got to thinking, like, this is going to be the perfect opportunity if I'm able to get some hardware, program a new show, because I had an MA3 Lite for a while that Christy Lights was gracious enough to loan to me for a little bit. But at the time, MA3 just wasn't in a good position for really getting into it. It was lacking a lot of features that were really necessary for my workflow. But now, it's been almost a year later, and MA3 is at a point where I think that I can create a show on MA3 that is just as good, if not better, than MA2. So I'm gonna do that. This Louis the Child tour is going to be, first fully written in MA2, literally completely queued out in MA2, and then in my free time, I'm going to be basically making a Q for Q identical version of the show on MA3, but done from the ground up. So no capturing DMX and inputting it and storing that into sequences. No, it's going to be completely independent show files. And so that means I'll be taking both my MA2 Lite, this guy right here, as well as an MA3 Lite or Compact XT. We'll see, I'm not exactly sure, out on the road. So this is crazy. I'm really excited to be one of the first people to maybe be out on the road with an actual MA3 show, not in MA2 mode. It's a little bit scary, I must admit that, but I'm excited to see what we can do and what we can provide feedback to the manufacturer to get MA3 into a place where we know it can get and help with the development. So maybe it is a little bit strange of an idea to write the show files in both MA2 and MA3, but I wanted to use this as what I think is like the perfect opportunity to document the differences and what it's like shifting over from MA2 to MA3 in a touring sense. I really am just kind of like jumping into the deep end on this, and I'm actually really excited for it. Act Lighting was kind enough to ship me a Compact XT for the next couple of months to program the show. And I actually just got notification a few hours ago that it is ready to be picked up from the shop. So I figured I would take you guys along with, we'll go unbox it, throw it in the truck, and then bring it back home and set it up. Sounds pretty fun. Let's go do it. All right, so look after the place while we're gone. Got it? Okay, good. All right, I know what you guys are thinking. Christian, stop flexing on us with the YouTube lifestyle, but sometimes I just can't help myself. XT. Where, oh, where might you be? Ah, there it is. I see you. Oh wait, does it not have casters on the road case? Oh geez. Yeah, it's just a regular, oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't know that. Well, that's good to know. I like how small it is. Forgot my knife. Sheesh. I got beat by the packing wrap. I'm still feeling a little weak today. I got my vaccine yesterday and it took me out of commission for like, I mean, a whole day, and I'm still feeling it today. That's my excuse at least. I found a knife anyways. But actually though, I mean, this is like definitely, you know, one person capable. I thought it would be a lot heavier and bulkier. It's actually kind of nice. Actually, I was curious to see if it would fit in just the back seat, and wouldn't you know it, a Gen 3 4Runner will fit a compact XT and a Calzone case in the back seat. And that information will probably come in handy for at least 2 other people on this planet before the heat death of the universe. Hello? I've got a red light back here. I've got power. Maybe if I hold it down? Oh no. Please, wake up. Oh, I swear. How unlucky would this be? This can't be right. Power on. Oh no. Well, I swear it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Well, I didn't think I'd be having to provide them so much feedback so soon. Dang it. Is all right? What the heck, man? I'm just gonna hold it down for like 10 seconds. The old router reboot trick. 10 seconds. Yikes. Well, okay. Looks like I gotta go send an email real quick. Oh no. What? Okay. It's okay. Sometimes we all need a little bit of extra time to wake up, I guess. Hey! Oh my god, that scared me so much. Wow. It's like, I swear guys, I didn't brick it. And let's just start in 3. Wow. Like I said, this is the compact XT. Let's talk a second about where it sits in the GrandMA3 product line, because GrandMA3 has a lot more products in it for kind of like more unique circumstances than MA2 had. Actually, I'm gonna put a lav mic on for this. Hang on. Oh yeah, that's much better. The Compact XT is a console class device, meaning that it gets you out of the bounds of an on-PC session. So you can go above the on-PC parameter limit. And it sits right in between the MA3 Lite and the MA3 Compact as far as where it sits in the whole hierarchy. There are a few key differences between the Compact XT and the MA3 Lite that I think are important if you're deciding on buying a console like I am. Like, this is obviously a loaner console for now, and I'm really trying to decide whether I want to purchase something like the XT, which is super attractive at the price point, or step up to the MA3 Lite, which is quite a big step up money-wise. But I mean, you do get a little bit more when you pay that extra money. So for example, the differences between the XT and the Lite, there's no built-in keyboard, so there's no like little tray that you can pull down and start typing away. You have to use the on-screen keyboard or use an external keyboard. Not a huge deal, but I mean, you don't realize it until you don't have the keyboard, how often you're pulling that tray down. It also doesn't have a built-in uninterruptible power supply, battery backup built into it. So if you lose power to the desk and it's not plugged into an external UPS, the console just dies. It also does not have the two letterbox screens that go below the main screens here. Now at the moment, those really only show like executor details, which is something that I really hope that they add functionality to with MA3. Those letterbox screens could be really useful for other things. Like even in mode 2, you can use them as macro pools and some other stuff, I think. I'm not actually sure, I'll have to check on that. But yeah, I hope those letterbox screens get some more functionality rather than just displaying data in a non-user definable way. Another big thing between the XT and the Lite also has the two command displays, the two little touch screens where the command section is. Oh, one other thing, the Compact XT has half the amount of GrandMA3 parameters. They have the same amount, the Lite and the XT, the Lite and the Compact XT, excuse me, have the same amount of MA2 parameters. So if you load into mode 2, they'll both give you 4096. But in mode 3, the XT, the Compact XT, will only give you 4096 GrandMA3 parameters, and the Lite, MA3 Lite, gives you 8192, which is huge. That's a pretty big deal. 8192, that's enough to run most pretty big size shows. I mean, that's 16 full universes of Control. That's like 16 fully populated universes of Control. And when you're running a console that's 4096, like I even ran into this with my MA2. It's why I ended up buying an NPU, and why I ended up buying a Viz key for MA3, which gets here tomorrow actually. Super excited about that as well. So that is a limitation to consider if you're looking at buying a console like I am. The trade-off is all those extra features weigh a lot more, make it less transportable. This is obviously very one-person-able, and I think it's actually a really interesting place. It's in an interesting place in the MA3 hierarchy, and it's more attractive than I had initially thought when I saw that it was a part of the lineup. But really, the only thing that matters when you're learning software is having a good control input interface, so having an actual command section. It's really hard to learn these complex lighting control softwares using just the buttons on screen. It's possible. I mean, I learned a lot of MA2 just by clicking buttons on a screen, but it speeds up your workflow so much when you actually have a piece of hardware. It doesn't matter if it's a light or a full size or even just a command wing. Just having the keypad layout, it does so much for learning the workflow. And that's why I'm happy to have this in my own little home studio here. It's going to allow me to really dive into the latest software release, which in my opinion is probably like the first MA3 software release where I would feel comfortable running a show and has enough features to where I don't feel like stuff is just plain missing anymore. So I know a lot of people felt that way. I feel like this latest MA3 version is finally in a spot where I'm excited about sitting down and learning it. Whereas before it just, it didn't seem appealing. That first excitement of new hardware was really awesome, but then finding out that the software wasn't, even up to MA2 standards, it was like, oh man, it was such a huge letdown. That's what makes me excited about being on board with this MA3 feedback program that ActLighting and MA are doing together.
From the sounds of things, I'll be having weekly meetings with their product development teams just to kind of keep their finger on the pulse of things that users like me want. And man, I do not envy the amount of work and the scope and breadth of what they have to do with a lighting control software. I mean, it's crazy to think about. They have to create a software that is stable, reliable, full of features, and is something that people from all different types of lighting work can work with the same set of tools. It's crazy to me that like a broadcast LD, a theater LD, someone who does like festivals, it all has to work for all of those types of people and be the best at it, or at least try to be. I'm really seeing this whole opportunity more as a responsibility than anything else, a responsibility to do what I can to make sure that, you know, the tools that we have in the next generation of lighting software is something that's going to make our lives easier, help us make more money, do cooler shows faster, and have fun while doing it, because that's what it's all about. And it's crazy to think that this is just chapter one. There's so much that we have in front of us to learn and discover and teach others, and I'm really excited to play a small role in that. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.